Every competitive gamer knows this exact feeling. You're down to the final round of a massive match. Your teammates are dead, and for once, they are actually quiet on Discord. It's a 1v1 clutch situation. Suddenly, you feel it, a sudden spike in your chest. Your heart starts pounding, and you make a dummy move and throw the round. In the gaming community, we call it choking. We treat it like a personal flaw, a bad day, or a sign that we need to hit uninstall. But in cognitive psychology, it has a completely different name, a neurological hijack. What you're experiencing isn't a sudden loss of skill. It's a biological survival mechanism. Your brain has mistakenly treated a digital video game like a literal life or death threat. It floods your body with stress hormones, and these hormones completely lock up your muscle memory. But here's the wild thing. If you watch the world's best professional players, they face this exact scenario dozens of times a day. They do it under the blinding lights of an international stage with lots on the line. Yet, their crosshairs don't shake, their hands stay warm, and they don't panic. How do they do it? Do they simply lack fear? Or are they just built different? Today, we're going to be looking behind the scenes of elite esports athletes to find out how they override this internal panic switch, stay completely calm under pressure, and most importantly, how you can use neuroscience to program your own brain to do the exact same thing. Welcome to Flow Immersion. Let's decode the system together. To understand how a pro player keeps their composure, we first have to understand why the average human brain completely loses its mind. In cognitive science, this is explained by dual process theory. Essentially, your brain runs on two completely different operating systems. Think of System 1 as your brain's internal, cracked esports prodigy. This handles everything that is fast, unconscious, and automatic. When you spend hundreds of hours practicing your aim, your crosshair placement, or your recoil control, that data gets permanently hardwired right here into your muscle memory. System 1 is incredibly fast, highly efficient, and runs entirely in the background. It's what allows you to hit an insane, instantaneous flick shot without even having to think about it. Then we have System 2. This is your brain's slow, analytical, micromanaging middle manager. It's deliberate and it handles complex calculations like tracking enemy ult percentages, planning an eco-round strategy, or managing your team's economy. When you're playing at your absolute best, these two systems live in perfect harmony. Your automatic muscle memory handles the physical mechanics of aiming, while your conscious mind handles the macro strategy. This beautiful state of balance is what psychologists call the flow state. But notice what happens the moment a high-pressure, clutch situation triggers a panic response. Your brain experiences an explicit monitoring crisis. Because the stakes feel incredibly high, your conscious mind gets terrified of messing up. It panics, decides to stage an armed coup, and steps in to manually control things that should have been left entirely to your automatic muscle memory. Suddenly, instead of just letting your hand flick naturally, your slow, clunky, conscious brain starts asking questions in real time. Am I holding my mouse too tight? Is my crosshair exactly at head level? What if I miss? The moment your conscious mind tries to manually micromanage your muscle memory, the entire system grinds to a screaming halt. The smooth neural pathways of System 1 are interrupted by the slow, buffering processing of System 2. You overthink, your movement goes completely rigid, and you choke. You didn't forget how to aim or how to play. You just allowed a middle manager to get in the way of your own hands. So, how do professional esports athletes avoid this neurological trap? The most common misconception is that pro players are just naturally fearless, cold-blooded robots. We watch them win a brutal 1v4 grand final and assume their heart rate didn't even tick up. But biometric data tells a completely different story. When researchers hook professional players up to heart rate monitors during major tournaments, they discovered that their heart rates frequently spike to over 160 beats per minute during intense engagements. Biologically, that is not cool under pressure. That is the cardiac rhythm of someone sprinting away from a grizzly bear. Their bodies are experiencing the same exact fight or flight stress response as a casual player sitting at home. Their adrenaline is pumping, their cortisol is spiking, and their nervous system is screaming that they're under attack. The difference isn't what they feel, it's how their brain interprets that feeling. When an untrained player feels their heart racing and their palms sweating, their conscious mind interprets as a negative signal. I'm panicking, I'm losing control, I'm going to miss. This negative self-talk acts as a toxic feedback loop, worsening the physical anxiety and completing the neurological hijack. A professional athlete, however, uses a psychological technique called anxiety reappraisal. Because they have spent thousands of hours in high-pressure environments, their brain interprets those exact same physical sensations differently. When their hearts start racing, they don't think, I'm panicking. Their brain tells them, my body is fueling up. This adrenaline is making my reaction time faster. My pupils are dilating so I can track targets better. I am primed to perform. They don't try to suppress the energy, they channel it. They recognize that stress isn't an enemy trying to destroy their performance, it's a biological toolkit designed to sharpen it. They aren't panicked, they're just overclocked. So, how do we take this incredibly powerful science and actually apply it to our next ranked match? Professional teams don't just rely on luck. They train their players using specific neurological reset protocols between rounds. Here are the two most effective tools used by elite players to instantly downshift their nervous system and keep their conscious mind from hijacking their mechanics. Tool 1. The Physiological Sigh. When you are trapped in a high-stress situation, your breathing naturally becomes shallow and rapid. This causes carbon dioxide to build up in your bloodstream, which signals your brain to increase its panic response. To break this loop instantly, pros utilize a biological cheat code discovered by neuroscientists called the Physiological Sigh. It's a very specific breathing pattern. You take 2 quick deep inhales through your nose, 1 long inhale to maximize lung capacity, followed immediately by a second sharp micro inhale to pop open the tiny air sacs in your lungs. Then you follow it with a long, slow exhale through your mouth. Doing this just once or twice instantly dumps a massive amount of carbon dioxide from your system, activates your parasympathetic nervous system, and forces your heart rate to drop within seconds. It is the fastest known biological method to stop a panic response in real time. If you watch pro players closely on their player cams right after an intense round, you'll see them do this constantly. They might look like they are just sighing dramatically at a bad teammate, but they are actually resetting their biology. Tool 2. The Cognitive Boundary. The second tool is a mental asset management. A massive reason players choke in later rounds is because they are carrying the emotional baggage of previous mistakes. If you whiffed an embarrassingly easy shot in round 3, your conscious mind will keep obsessing over it in round 5, completely locking up your processing power. Pros practice creating a strict cognitive boundary. They use a physical anchor to split their focus. The moment a round ends, they might take their hands entirely off the keyboard, adjust their glasses, or take a sip of water. This small physical action acts as a mental boundary line. It signals to the brain that whatever just happened is now history. The data is logged, the motion is wiped, and we are rebooting back to 0. They enter the next round entirely focused on the present moment, allowing System 1 to do its job without the heavy weight of past mistakes. At the end of the day, mental fortitude is not an unchangeable personality trait. You aren't just born with it or without it. It is a literal physical skill. Just like mastering your aim, training your mouse control, or learning map geometry, your brain's ability to stay composed under immense pressure is a muscle that strengthens the more you intentionally exercise it. The next time you find yourself in that high-stakes, heart-pounding clutch situation, I want you to remember what is happening behind the screen. Don't fight the adrenaline. Don't let your conscious mind step in and try to micromanage the muscle memory you've spent hundreds of hours building. Take a deep, physiological sigh, trust the automation engine you've trained, and treat that pressure as high-octane fuel to perform. True mastery isn't about creating a world where you never feel panic. It's about building a mind that knows exactly how to dance inside the storm. If you want to keep exploring how to work with your brain's natural chemistry to upgrade your focus, optimize your routines, and master your daily execution, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Take care of your mind, protect your energy, and I will see you in the next video.